What is good, friends, and welcome back. I hope you had a lovely day. We will revisit base defense naval edition. Even though I made a few base defense video, why am I making a new one? You will say the answer is simple. They're still commanders today. Veteran commanders that have been playing this game for more than 4 years still don't know how to defend their base. They rely on help. They don't know what to do, and they want to become better. They just don't know how. So do me a favor, if you know one of those commander, share this video with them so they can improve their game and become a better commander. Now, before talking about the technique and everything, let me share my base defense on Navy. It's not perfect. It's work in progress. I'm still collecting prototype pieces to find the ideal profile. But right now, I will share my profile. By the way, if you do have a profile that you think is the best, don't hesitate to share it in the comment section below. We can work together and build a community to help each other. Okay. Right now, this is an active base defense video. So if I'm actively playing this game, this is what I'm looking for to properly defend my base, and I will explain you why. For the submarine, I have Rip Current and Liberty Blaze. Rip Current is an officer that will enhance the penetration versus the armored destroyer. The armored destroyer being the ship, the vessel that act as a tanking unit. This officer will help you inflict more damage to the armored destroyer. It is not the most effective vessel or unit against the armored destroyer. The aircraft carrier is, however, I don't have enough Liberty prototype pieces to have both a guided missile destroyer and a aircraft carrier, which are both from the Liberty camp. So this is the next best thing. If you can have an aircraft carrier and a submarine, you will inflict some significant damage to the tanking unit, which is the armored destroyer. All right. So the submarine works good enough. Then we have the anti-aircraft destroyer, which will be effective against enemy jets and Navy fighters. I have, what's his name again? Tide Watcher and Dame Sombra. Dame Sombra, not the best officer for that purpose. However, she's still better than those shield officer that doesn't provide any bonus or durability bonus to your base when it's under attack. So that is a compromise. For the guided missile destroyer, I'm lucky enough to have Steel Commodore and Tidal Fang. Steel Commodore have a fantastic tactical skill, and Tidal Fang have a bonus for that particular vessel. And if I'm online, that is the ship that I want to counterattack. And you'll see why later in this video. So this is my setup. Like I said, if you believe that I have a better setup and explain us why, feel free to share it in the comments below. To properly defend your base, there are so far 2 known methods. The first one, which is to pop out and backing your base when you're under attack. The purpose of that is to redirect the aggro to another ship instead of the armored destroyer. This doesn't always work, and I'll show you why. The second method is to counterattack the ship that will cause the more damage to your base, which is the guided missile destroyer. This one will work the best because you stay in control. You can control every variable of the battle. And I will tell you how to properly counterattack. This tip will work 100% of the time as long as you're focused in the game. And this is the keyword here. If your base is under attack and you're doing only God knows why, you're not focused in the base, this technique will not work because Timing is everything. So let's get down to the footage and I'll tell you how to become a better commander. So now I will simulate an attack and I will show you what not to do or what most commanders are doing when they attempt to defend their base. And you will recognize some of them, I guarantee you that. So I will place Neo's unit like so. Now the siege has begun, and what the commanders will do usually, they will pop out and pop back in, hopefully to redirect the aggro on another ship. Sometimes it works, but you saw that it doesn't always work as expected. The aggro is back on the armored destroyer, even though I try to change the aggro. Yeah, now it targeted the guided missile destroyer, but most of the commander, they have no idea what they're doing. They will randomly pop out and pop back in. And this time it kind of worked, but it took some time. It was not effective, and a lot of this technique gives you random results. Sometimes it works, most of the time it doesn't. It's not as effective as you want. A lot of commanders, they ask me, Mag, how do you control the aggro? You know, the red laser beam of death? You cannot. It's random. It's up to the base to target the unit of its choice. You don't have any power on that. So you cannot control the aggro. However, you can control the units that will counterattack the sieging unit or the most damaging unit when your base is under siege. To better understand when you should counterattack, because it's all about timing, I will simulate a naval battle. Neo will engage my ship, and as you can see, both officer skill charge at the same time. The same thing happened when you attack the base. The only difference is you don't see your own skill charge. You only see the enemy skill charging, and he will be the indicator of when you should launch the counterattack. So when your base is under attack, pay attention to the armored destroyer and look at the skill charge. Once it reached that level, this is when you counterattack, so you strike him with the tactical skill. We will apply this theory in a siege. Neo will engage my base and pay attention to his armored destroyer. Once the gauge almost reached the end, right there, this is when I strike his guided missile destroyer. Once my counterattack is complete, I garrison, and this is when you need to pay attention again because my skill charge will reset. So I need to set another reference, and this is when the skill charge just began. So once it does another cycle, this is when I counterattack once again. So I will let the skill load, and once it reaches the top, then it's time for me to strike. Once again, inflicting some big damage to his ship. I garrison, and guess what's going to happen? The skill charge will reset, so I will set another reference, and I will skill charge right now. The perfect timing once again. That was a clean counterattack. I know that a lot of things are going on at once, but practice makes it perfect. There you have it, friends. You see, it's not that hard as long as you stay focused in the game and you know what you're doing. Timing is everything. So just be aware, be smart. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.